though incredibly nerdy, is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised, and you probably shouldn't watch if you're an overly sensitive pussy.
Macadelic America.
In a room filled with holographic images. Path is limitless, death, well, that's ridiculous. I'ma live forever cause the legend never died. See, the world is simple but complex in the design. I spent some time just thinking, where did that get me? High, more drinking. Now my head empty, so can it last a couple minutes more? Pain a funny thing when you can't figure out the source. Bear witness while I'm checking bitches off my hit list who try to understand the fucking message I encrypted. Itching, hallucinating visions of utopia until I figure out that the perfect world the lonely one. Never hold my tongue, vocal is a loaded gun, and I'ma shoot somebody in the face if they're too slow to run. Mac Miller, I'm the only one, but I'm the coldest one. This is
Got my middle
pandemonium.
finger up with a cup in the Dutch split. Hand on my nuts when I'm wildin' out in public. Welcome to America, motherfucker. Welcome to America. My middle finger up with a cup in the Dutch split. Hands on my nuts while I'm wildin' out in public. Welcome to America, motherfucker. Welcome to America.
Still in a room filled with holographic images, crushing information in the powder, then I'm sniffing it directly to my head. Never sleep or use my bed. Iller than a future death if you ingesting Sudafed. My head to Budapest just to get a Gucci vest. Hop into a jet, get some rest to diffuse the stress. See, this is what I do the best. Nothing that you got except a bullet getting through my chest. Safe heart, a brave heart, a warrior. I take part to stay far from coroners. I heard some corny words said about my music though. Talking all that shit sound exactly like a groupie hoe. Most dope got you hooked yelling Rufio. First you lose your mind and you lose your soul. So what you talking about? Thinking you out of options. American born, impeccable form above and beyond.
Got my middle finger up with a cup in the Dutch split. Hand on my nuts when I'm wildin' out in public. Welcome to America, motherfucker. Welcome to America. My middle finger up with a cup in the Dutch split. Hands on my nuts while I'm wildin' out in public. Welcome to America, motherfucker. Welcome to America.
Yeah, welcome to America. Unless you're not here. I guess then just welcome to the stream. Anyway, it's a nice little Friday stream here. Sorry, I'm just having a bit more of coffee here, and I am excited to be getting into a couple of different topics with you guys today. A couple of different things we got to get into. Hope you're doing well. We've got to talk a little bit about Supergirl. There's actually some conflicting reports about the box office, which I don't think is that surprising. But we will try to do our due diligence. We'll take a peek at this. We'll see what it looks like. Go through all the paces. I'll tell you what I think it is. Give some predictions and kind of talk about what's going on. So yeah, we'll do that. I also do want to discuss the Avengers Doomsday reshoots because I think something really interesting is happening with these reshoots. I've sort of been the boy, like crying wolf or whatever. I don't know what the right I don't know what the right metaphor is, but I've been trying to sort of signal like, hey, something really crazy is happening right now. Nobody's paying attention, but Marvel's doing something really crazy right now. And so I want to unpack that a little bit and talk about why it might actually lead to an even crazier sort of scenario with leaks and rumors when we get into Secret Wars. We'll get into it. We'll talk more about it. And then, believe it or not, there's actually a ton of stuff out there about Spider-Man's. Cryptic HD's been teasing some stuff here and there. There's been some other people teasing some interesting stuff. And so I want to talk about it because that movie's up next and there's a lot of mystery still with regards to that film. And so every little morsel, little clue that we get, we're going to break down, including the possibility that Grey Hulk is actually a thing. We'll get into it. There's some pretty crazy stuff going on with all of that. So I'm excited to get into that with you. Nice little Friday stream. That should basically be the topics of the day. How are you guys doing out there? How's the week been for you? And do you have any questions or whatever before we get into it? Did you change up the background? Yeah. So we're making some improvements over here. By the way, the lighting is not where it needs to be right now. I've got new lights, and I have no idea how to use them. So whatever this isn't going to be the final look. I'm experimenting. I'm trying new stuff out. I probably need a diffuser for that light, to be honest with you. It's a little intense. So, yeah, we're making some upgrades around here, but we're going to have some growing pains. There's going to be a little bit of growing pains as we get into this, as we develop it. One question. What's a Warhammer? Dude, you know damn well what a Warhammer is, and I can't believe you got a membership again. Who gave this guy a membership? I mean, hey, it's good to see you. Good to see you. Appreciate you. I'm eating my tomato avocado Bennett. That sounds awesome. We got good diners. Oh, and is that Rhode Island? That sounds fantastic. I haven't had a good eggs Benedict in a while. You know what I really like, man, is smoked salmon on an eggs Benedict. That shit is good. Oh man, you got me hungry. Make them watch the new 28-minute core rules video. Adam, I mean, I feel as though we've already pushed fairly hard this week into the Warhammer direction, and some people like it and some people don't. I don't think there's any need to go any further right at this moment. But I like the energy, you know? Force them to watch a 28-minute video on the fucking rules of Warhammer. I like that, you know? I'm just gonna ignore that advice. No, I didn't get the zoom feature yet. I'm gonna put the other camera, I think, on this side, and I'm still trying to figure that shit out too, brother. Like, I gotta get the rest of this wall built and back. Which, by the way, Josh, if Kemble Bluegrass is in here, this motherfucker. Yeah, first in today says Den of Late. Nice Heather Hammer shirt, by the way. Love Spider Noir. No Revenge for Life. Much love. Happy birthday. This motherfucker. Let me tell you something. So this guy's on the Discord being like, oh, dude, there's no way he's actually doing the construction himself. Yeah, you tell that to my fucking fingers that every time the drill comes off the drill bit and ripping in my fingers. And so I'm from, I don't know, I guess a little bit of the old school. I did a lot of construction with my dad. We literally built the house that I grew up in, okay? And my thing with doing construction was always that it's like, you just accept that you're going to be furious. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to get really fucking mad. You're going to swear a lot. Like, these are all just mandatory. Like, this is just how it works, you know? Like, this is... I'm pretty sure if you go to a school to be an electrician or to work in construction, I'm pretty sure they tell you the same thing. You're going to fucking rage out and hurt yourself and all of that. So I was going through that, and then I see on the Discord, Josh is like, this guy, it's not like he's doing a construction himself. This nerd's not that. This fucking nerd's definitely not doing the construction himself. Yeah, well, guess what, buddy? I wish. Okay, I wish. And also, what is this? Why are we hued up? Take that. Bring that hue down. So much hueage going on here. What's up with that? Bring that down a little. Okay. And then let's bring that down a little bit. Sorry, we're adjusting things on the fly here, chat. I really don't know why that was done. I can live with that, I guess. Anyway, yeah. Looking pink. I know, right? I was looking a little pink. I don't know. I think it's because I keep messing with the exposure, and then I keep messing with the lighting a little bit, so... That's probably what's got me looking a little pink. Or maybe I'm also just embarrassed. And as an electrician, rage is a part of the job. Pain and blood are byproducts. Fair. Yeah. But, yeah, so that's just like... anyway, I had to, like, build... I don't want to go into this whole fucking thing, but these things come from Britain, okay? Which means they're fucked up. They don't line up to where studs would be in a wall. I think studs in America are usually 16 inches apart. So these things don't line up to studs. So what you literally have to create, you have to either create studs, or what I did was sort of take 2x4s and create like a frame on the wall that then like I could screw them into or whatever. So it's a whole thing. There's a whole damn thing, and I'm gonna take the weekend to finish it. And I'll finish this wall, and then I'll do this wall that I'm looking at here, and then I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with this wall, but we'll figure it out. You couldn't get wood paneling from America, you had to import it. Well, the industry standard for that stuff, which I'm trying different things actually, because this shit was way too expensive, to be honest with you. But I tried the industry standard for not just aesthetics, but also sound. These things are apparently like a total banger, especially when you do them kind of the way I did, where they're a little out from the wall, so there's a little dead space. So it should really help the audio. But to be honest, like it was way too expensive. So I'm gonna do this wall with literally like something that costs about 25% and just see. But I'll try different things. Bezos money, yeah, I don't know about that. Getting mad while building stuff is the best part. I yelled for no reason yesterday, setting up my new monitor. Yeah, it feels like you sort of give yourself license to do that, where you're like, yeah, I'm building this fucking thing. It's gonna be a fucker. I'm already pissed before I even start, which I think is the best way to start. Yeah, and then you get mad. Joey says, just gutted my bathroom bare bones. Can you put it back together for me? Fuck no. I'm also looking at putting those panels around the base of my bar. They're cool, man, but I just don't know that you need like the really expensive ones, frankly. I'll let you know, because I'm going to try the cheapies on this wall, and I'll kind of compare and contrast, and I'll let you know. Like a lot of things in life, man, there's always like a super premium, like this is the best John to get for it. It's like, do you really need that? I don't know. We'll find out. Don't be cheap. I'm not being cheap. I'm trying to be frugal. Okay, I'm trying to. We got one expensive wall. We're gonna have one cheap wall. That's not being cheap. That's like middle of the road. I'm not gonna lie though. After this wall, I was like, I am not doing all the walls with that shit. Way too expensive. Anyway. I finished Spy to Noir, and it was so good. It's nice to have a show be exactly what it was advertised to be. The dialogue, tension, and the action in the finale were great. Yeah, we don't have any numbers yet for Spider Noir, but I'm sure hoping it's doing really well. It seems to be still in top 1, 2, or 3 in a lot of the main markets on Amazon. So that's great. Dude, I'd love for this thing to really crush, do like Fallout Season 1 numbers. That would be incredible, because then you just get more and more and more. And I do think too that like it's probably hitting a lot of normies, and a lot of like sweaties are enjoying it as well. But it didn't. I don't know. I haven't been watching a lot of that kind of content, but I would imagine it didn't like light the world on fire in the commentary space. But that's okay. Like I think we need to stop thinking that everything's just going to instantly be Marvel. That's not how that shit works. You got to build that up. And even still, I bet there's still a lot of views to be had in the Spider Noir area, but it might not be until like a second season that everybody's like on the same page. They've watched season 1 in some way, shape, or form, and they're excited for the next one. We'll just see, But I really liked that show. And I do have a big video about it, which maybe I'll drop tomorrow. I'm juggling a lot right now, so nothing's operating the way that it should be, but we'll round the corner on it soon. So yeah, maybe I'll release that video where I just gush about Spider Noir, because I loved it, man. Zach says, so apparently I can't watch you live anymore. I tried everything, but it's still lagging. Even being 10 seconds behind isn't working. Much love. Yeah, that's super weird. I could look into that a bit. I know YouTube is changing some stuff on the back end right now, and so maybe if I looked into that I could tell you more, but yeah, that's super unfortunate. Anybody else having a lag problem? Anybody? Josh, have you heard of the new leaker Dixon Mayes? He got a couple of good scoops. I have not, but that's a ridiculous name. What's the scoops, man? Tell me. Rossi in with a rose, appreciate you, man, and a gifted membership. So generous. No lags. Nope. Yeah, it goes minus 10 seconds. What? No, but too many ads. I literally took the ads off today. What do you mean too many ads? Maybe I'll put them back on since it doesn't seem to fucking matter. Oh, you want more ads? You pronounced his name wrong? Whatever, bro. My fiance isn't a nerd, but I'm converting him a bit. My daughter is growing up to be one, and I love it. I've brainwashed her as well, but she likes Spider Noir a lot. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about that the other day too. Like, where's the line here for like the kids, the younger audiences? Because a lot of the humor, like, there's definitely sexuality, you know, some dark shit, but I don't know. I almost feel like it's a bit accessible. What was it rated? Is it TVMA? I'm over here like trying to get my 4-year-old to watch it. Probably a bad idea. Mine won't stay live today, running 2 to 3 seconds behind. Huh. Okay. Well, I will try. This guy's in a 480 and it's lagging bad. Well, I think that's your fault, but hey, you don't say that, Mandalore. Yeah, we'll figure that out, man. I'll look into it. I'm gonna get a new PC too. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet because there's just like other stuff I'm trying to get first. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's something on my end. I kind of doubt it though. I kind of doubt it. I'm always 10 seconds behind. Did you see the Supergirl first clip? I saw that it was posted. We will watch it because I do want to talk about Supergirl a bit. So yeah, we'll watch it. I have YouTube Premium and I have no issues. I guess it's pay to win. Yeah, didn't they just increase the prices yesterday though? YouTube, what are you doing? YouTube, what are you doing? ZB624 with a 10 spot. Appreciate it. Thank you, man. It says, yo, Josh, sick new setup, slight brag, but I bought a Grail yesterday. Amazing Spider-Man 121 raw, predicted to be 9.0 or better. Ooh, nice. Send it off to grading. Hopefully it comes back by my birthday. Oh, that's awesome, man. Nerd Avengers for Life, F. James Goon. Hey, you know what? Like, maybe we're going too hard on James Goon. We'll talk about it in a bit here because we'll get into the Supergirl and how great that's going to perform in the box office and the Man of Tomorrow set photos, which everybody's so pumped about. So, you know, watch your mouth. You know, watch your mouth over here. It's a family show, and we're trying to be nice to the Goon. Yeah, appreciate you, man. Josh, I'm not joking. I have the link for the leaked Doomsday trailer. What makes you think I need your link for that? Huh? What makes you think I don't already have it? But thanks. Thanks so much. Josh, leaning into Warhammer now streams are delayed. It's not a coincidence. Wait, what? But the people need the leak. Prove it true. Wait, what? I don't even know what you guys are talking about. I blacked out. You think it's possible Tom Holland is in Doomsday? I do think it's possible, yeah. The lag is gone. Hell yeah, let's go. The lag is gone. Hell yeah. Maybe I just need to sing like that and the lag will always go away. I'm almost ready to start yapping. I just need a little more coffee, okay? Just chill. Hey, any of you guys or gals going out to see He-Man this weekend? What's up with He-Man? It looks like He-Man is occupying that same space as some of these movies like Mario. Remember when like the anti-woke crowd couldn't figure out if Mario was woke or not? It seems like a similar thing's happening to He-Man. It looks like He-Man's gonna fucking bomb, dude. It seems like He-Man's gonna bomb. It seems like Supergirl's gonna bomb. Am I the only one that's like, yeah, maybe it's just a Hollywood thing? Like, maybe a whole bunch of people are like, I don't know if I want Hollywood He-Man. I don't know if I want Hollywood Superwoman girl. You know? Like, I feel like we have this, like, incredible empirical evidence. And we're trying to, like... And you know what? I'll say this, too. I would pay $20 right now to watch He-Man on streaming. And I kind of think, as a consumer, that's like the only way I would consume He-Man this weekend. And so basically what I'm telling you is I've flipped all the way back to fuck theaters. I'm all the way back. I'm all the way back to fuck theatrical. This is stupid. Why would I have to drive anywhere to watch anything in fucking 2026? I'm so sick of acting like this is normal. Like we're all supposed to round into these fucking rooms, these dark rooms, miles away from our house. For what? For what? I have a cell phone. I can watch fucking anything, basically, in the palm of my hand. And I'm a little interested in He-Man. Like, honestly, it looks kind of fun. But I'd watch it on the fucking OLED, dude. Pause that shit because I need a shit. Rewind it because that scene was dope. You know? Maybe I was enjoying an adult beverage or in the fucking kitchen or something. Rewind it. I'm serious, dude. I'm serious. What are we doing here? This is so crazy. The propaganda is so strong. Anyway, I like theaters. Okay, good for you, Brian. I like theaters too, as a memory of a time before the cell phone had 5G and access to any goddamn thing and an AI image generator. Don't even get... Yeah, I like the theaters too. In the way that I'm fond of cafeteria pizza from middle school. Doesn't mean I'm rushing out to get it. Oh my God. Don't do it. Don't do it, chat. Don't push. It's a family show. We're supposed to have a nice little family show and talk about this half-dead walking corpse of box office results for fucking Hollywood and superhero shit. Don't worry, we're gonna lock in. Dude, I would totally watch Doomsday streaming. I don't give a fuck. Put Doomsday on streaming. You know what they should do for Doomsday? Seriously, this is what they should do for Doomsday. They put it on streaming. It's like $40. Okay? And physical media release like you would do for the old like Xbox games. No, I'm dead ass, dude. I'm dead ass. Imagine how cool it would be to literally be able to watch Doomsday any way you wanted, how many ever times you wanted, all at the same day. You don't think that would create a bunch of like novel experiences? That would be amazing, dude. We're literally doing a version of that is just 50 years back in time from technology because a bunch of greedy motherfuckers just tried to keep a certain form of entertainment and all of the avenues by which money flows into and out to this archaic, ridiculous form of entertainment. That's the only reason we're doing this. We're in a fucking time machine, dude. I'm just telling, no, it's not even hate. Oh my God. It's not even hate, dude. I'm telling you what it is. That's what it is. Man, I don't know. I just... Friday streams never fail to anger chat. That's true. That's true. This might be the worst take of all time, brother. This is not even like a take. I'm like Thanos, brother. I'm fucking inevitable. This shit. What I'm talking to you about is the reality of where the consumer base is at, and the people that are still like wrapped up into this idea that what I'm talking about is false and like theaters are back where they were and like all this bullshit about like, oh, we got $1 billion a month, first one since 2019. Dude, your tickets are 30 to 40% more expensive. It doesn't mean what you think it means. Like they're literally just hiding. Here's the thing. Here's what it is, in my opinion. Okay, and then I'll go. What do I have to do? There's something I had to do. I want to go put the air conditioner on in here because it's getting hot because you got me all hot and bothered, chat. Friggin' buttholes. But here's like one of the last things I'll say about this is this entire industry is just one realization away from basically complete and total collapse. And that realization is just simply that it doesn't matter the way it once did. I'm telling you, that's basically it. A lot of like what the like sort of coastal journalists and even people within the space and by the way, this is even folks that are contrarians or the anti-woke or whatever. Even those people, in my opinion, are clinging to this sort of centralized entertainment idea of Hollywood because it allows for a tent-pulling of attention. I totally understand it. But I'm telling you right now that like the data is just showing that that's eroded. And it's the last semblance of control that system has within the zeitgeist is the perception that it still matters by coastal and influential folks. Once that erodes, it will be gone. And we'll start to talk about like short movies, AI generated this thing, that thing, of actual artists, really, really like valuable, mind-blowing entertainment that'll just happen like in a YouTube sense. It'll just come out. Like it is so inevitable that is the direction that entertainment is going. And to Hollywood's credit, I will say that they've rallied in an incredible way since the pandemic in particular, and they've decided and figured out the way to hold on with a death grip that sort of relevance that I'm speaking about. But because that is rooted in rent-seeking capitalism, meaning like you literally look at Tom Rothman's interview with Bellany, and I think the guy's brilliant, but what he said was we hold firm on a release window. It's artificial scarcity, and that is the only way to save this industry. So like just really think about that. What he's saying is the only way to save this industry is to get a death grip on this artificial scarcity. Why do you have to wait 100 days from theatrical to get it free on your streaming service? I guess I included in the cost of the streaming service, because if they don't just hold that at an arbitrary 100-day window, they know your consumer behavior will completely erode. You won't care about this shit anymore. So that's not a winning formula. That's a way to maybe hold on as an industry dissolves. But I'm just telling you, like, it ain't it, man. It ain't it. And, not to say that movies themselves will go away. I do think movies will change, but this centralized Hollywood system, I definitely think it's just a matter of time. And even this year, which is supposed to be a big year, but it's also like a sort of a false positive in a sense, because there's so many tent poles that have been building for a while that you'll get an artificial bump in the industry. And even Rothman talked about that. I just don't see how it, number one, thrives. Number two, ever gets back to where it once was. And, even maybe number three, stops what I consider to be an inevitable collapse, man. So, yeah, sorry. It's over. Movies don't matter. Get into Warhammer. I'm going to get the air conditioner. Welcome to your Friday stream. You did that to yourself, Chad. Yeah, fucking popping off at the mouth. Freaking buttholes. I want to pay super inflated prices and have to travel to a dark room miles away from my house. Fuck out of here! Okay. Let's see here. Corny COP says the 5 spot. Do you think Doctor Doom caused an incursion by going to see Franklin? And was Galactus trying to get Franklin for Doctor Doom the whole time? I don't think so, but I like where your head's at with that. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun, but I don't think so, brother. And then I flow with a $20 holla. Says, happy Friday, dude. You may be speaking to a chat that are mostly too young to remember the different feel of the theater experience. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know. Should we argue about movie theaters a little bit more? You guys all upset about it? You fucking butthurt about the take? Do you want to argue more about the movie theaters? Movie theaters, it's the future. Let's move on. Okay, fine. Wait, what? But do you speak for all of chat? I don't know. Now you're right. Let's get into the Spidey news. Okay, cool. No, everybody agrees with me. Dope. 41st birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I'm confused about the dark room part. Do you watch movies with all the lights on at your house? No, but I know that my house is clean. You know? We're going into these dark rooms with all these strangers. And do I mean, I used to work in food and beverage. You know what I mean? Theaters are solid. Yeah, super solid. Josh, you should review Project Hail Mary. It's what Mando and Grogu could have been if an emotional story instead of just mid. I might eventually watch that one. I think it's on streaming right now, which is super convenient and probably a good move on their part. But I think it's still just a little bit expensive. You know? Watch on your phone? Maybe I will. Maybe I will. While I'm doing a colon cleanse and I'm stuck on the toilet for 16 straight hours shitting my brains out. Did you ever consider that? What about the people that need to do a colon cleanse every once in a while? I can't go to the movie theaters if I'm shitting for 16 hours straight. Fuck. All right, anyway. I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun. I will never not go to the theaters. Okay, right on. Right on, very declarative. Do you have anything to declare before you enter the country? I will never not go to the theaters. Let's write that down. Yeah, Jay. Yeah, I am. Actually, to be fair, I don't think I talked once about the ticket prices as a problem. I just said that the inflation of the ticket prices masks the actual decline of the industry. I'm actually not that butthurt about the ticket prices, but it is a data point. I declare Josh needs a better theater. What? My theater's dope. I love going to the movie theater. Fuck you guys. Movie theater popcorn. You can't beat it. Okay, yeah, next topic. Everybody chill out. Now, speaking of the movie theaters, let's talk about this absolute turd muffin, Supergirl, and all the idiots that think it's going to do good in the box office. I'm just kidding. Relax. You guys, man. So uptight. Yo, real quick alike. Should we watch the short, the YouTube short? Because here's the thing. Is this the one? Let's see. Okay, so we're making some changes around here. Okay, we're doing some upgrades. And one of the things that means is we're going to do short form content because everybody's got a goldfish attention span. Everything sucks. It's terrible out here. I mean, movie theaters are a dying industry. Anyway, point is this. Let's look at this short edited by Randon because I need your guys' advice on if this is good, if we should do, how do we do? So, TLDR on new set leaks for Superman Man of Tomorrow movie. We've got first look at Lex Luthor, and it looks terrible to me. Some people think it looks good. They probably have something wrong with their eyes. It's really bad. It looks cheap. Looks like some Beetleborgs, Fox Kids, bullshit, CW, bullshit, Goofy. Even the people that were taking the photos in Atlanta were cracking the up as they were trying to get these photos. We're all just going through the same stupid circle jerk of, oh, here's thing for character we recognize from comics. Oh my god, it looks like my comic. I like it because I have the comic. Gotta have DCU's fucking comics. All right, so one more time. It's pretty short. One more time, just so you get a nice sense of it, and then give me some advice. So TLDR on new set leaks for Superman Man of Tomorrow movie. We've got first look at Lex Luthor, and it looks terrible to me. Some people think it looks good. They probably have something wrong with their eyes. It's really bad. It looks cheap. Looks like some Beetleborgs, Fox Kids, bullshit, CW, bullshit, Goofy. Even the people that were taking the photos in Atlanta were cracking the up as they were trying to get these photos. We're all just going through the same stupid circle jerk of, oh, here's thing for character we recognize from comics. Oh my god, it looks like my comic. I like it because I have the comic. Gotta have DCU's fucking comics. Okay, so I think, maybe we went a little too far in some places. We want to be entertaining, but, we can maybe dial it back just a little bit. But the editing itself, pretty good style, and I think these are gonna do well. So we're gonna try a couple more today at the end of the section. So I'm actually probably not gonna post any yet. We'll probably start posting them next week. Right now we're sort of working the muscles, right? I gotta get used to doing it after every segment. Randon has to get used to editing it a little bit. So we're working the muscles. But what do you think? Not enough expletives. That's fair. It is a family show. Lex Luthor looking like the Master Chief. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good one there. I like that. I think the short form is a good move. It fits your style. You should keep doing it. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to keep doing it. There's a lot of things I'm working on, and soon you will see. I think it should end on a serious note. Oh, okay. So like a little goofy, but then I get a little serious and be like, in all seriousness, it looks fucking terrible, something like that. You look deep fried? Oh, definitely. Thanks. Needs more aggression? Maybe not. Maybe not. Josh, can you put the clip in theaters for a 30-day? Yes, we'll put the clip in the theaters. Congratulations, you gotta go pay 40% over market value for your concessions, pay this big expensive thing, sit in this, love that theater experience myself. Needs more grifting. Thank you. Yeah, I'll try to fit more in. Okay, everybody shh. Shut your mouth. Here we go. Where's this at? Where's the... Well, that's not good. That's some kind of blast coming from the sun. Probably not great. That's probably not good there either. Okay, that's not it. Hang on. We're prepared. Hang on now. Okay, we'll start with the deadline reports, and then we'll look at what Luis Fernando has said about it, and we'll try to get a fair assessment of where this prediction is at. By the way, does this come out not this weekend but next weekend? Is that a real thing? It comes out next weekend? Is that true? It's pretty crazy, huh? Oh, it debuts on June 26th. Okay, so we still got some weeks. Maybe the box office tracking will go up. Maybe it'll go down. We'll see. Okay, let's get into it. Hang on. All right. So, Supergirl, the next exciting entry into the DCU, coming out soon. And look, I think there's been a lot of conversation about the box office for this movie. Like I saw John Campea yesterday. A clip was going viral with him like trying to like be all squirmy and weird about how this movie didn't need to be a big success. It's not a blockbuster. Like all this weird shit. It was really fucking weird. You're weird, John. That was a weird take. But it's not just John. It's a lot of people online. And it seems like there's another big line of division out there in the zeitgeist, in the fandom, if you will, about if this movie will be successful. What does success look like for this film? And what does it say about what James Gunn is doing if this movie is or is not successful? So, Deadline made some major waves posting just today. No. This was actually, it says it was today, but it must have been yesterday. Maybe it was really early. Talking about the box office tracking for Supergirl. So it says here, DC Studios and Warner Brothers Supergirl arrived on a 3-week tracking Thursday morning with an outlook of 55+ million when it opens on June 26th. The campaign is just gearing up with tickets going on sale Wednesday for the Gizlippy directed feature Take on Tom King, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so they have a full box office analysis here. We can peek at this for a second. Hopefully it's not too dry and boring. Let's see what it has to say here. DC Studios arrived at 3-day tracking. The campaign is just gearing up, blah, blah, blah. Unaided awareness, the tracking category where pollsters cite awareness of a movie without being prompted, is pretty even among men and women under 25. Overall, unaided awareness is higher than Star Wars: The Mandalorian and Grogu, which is really good. It's higher than Thunderbolts, that's good, and higher than Shazam. Note that tracking hasn't fully taken into account pre-sales yet. House of the Dragons, Millie Alcock plays Supergirl, blah, blah, blah. Let's see here. Superman opened 125 million and legged out 354.2 domestic, 618 worldwide. Also hitting tracking, opening against Supergirl is Paramount's Jackass, which has a forecast of 13 million. First choice currently is best with men under 25, and the pick is pacing slightly ahead of previous installments. So that's kind of interesting. I guess what they're suggesting is if the Jackass movie pops off a little bit more, especially with that demo, you could see it maybe dip into Supergirl's potential take. So that's what they have to say about it. Now, when this first came out, a lot of people were like, no, it's much higher than that, okay? But I think like 55 plus is probably like a fair conservative estimate. Other people had it at like 57 to 77, and I do want to look at what Luis Fernando has said about it, because he's looking at the same data that Deadline is looking at, and I think Luis is pretty good. You know, I think he's actually pretty solid in his analytics. So let's briefly look at what he says here. And yeah, ticket pre-sales kicked off on Wednesday for Supergirl at the U.S. box office. And like Wonder Woman did pre-COVID, and the DC film tries to be a turning point for the female superhero films post-COVID. After 2 days of pre-sales, coming at 2.5 ahead of the Marvels. That's pretty solid. Almost on par with Black Widow, and 1.1 ahead of Thunderbolts. I gotta be honest, that 1.1 ahead of Thunderbolts is like not great, actually. That's not that great. But let's read on. Interesting but not as relevant, Supergirl's first 2 days of pre-sales were 2 times ahead of F1's, which, by the way, came out on the same weekend last summer. Obviously, comic book movies are way more pre-sales heavy than movies such as F1, so this should be kept in mind as well. Yeah, and I think F1 kind of legged out. It didn't have an incredible opening, and yet it had really great word of mouth, and they kept it in theaters for a long, long time, and it just kind of grew over time. People were enjoying it a lot. So, also, I don't like to use fall comps for summer films, but since I've already mentioned the Marvels, well, Supergirl's first 2 days of pre-sales are 1.5 ahead of Black Adam's, even considering that pre-sales for summer releases usually are more front-loaded than fall ones. That could lead to an opening weekend above Adam's 67 million and around Thunderbolt's 74 million territory. Can Supergirl stop the female superhero downtrend and send the ladies flying up, and away? We will see as pre-sales progresses if she has the strength to make it happen. But if the Blondie's pre-sales maintain momentum through, specifically compared to Black Widow and Thunderbolts, and the movie ends up well received, that could genuinely give Supergirl a shot to challenge Black Widow herself as the biggest opening weekend of a female superhero films post-COVID. And big if here, that happens, Supergirl will become the third biggest debut of all time for female superhero films. But only time and marketing push will tell. Regardless, Supergirl seems like it will at the very least be able to claim the title of the biggest opening ever for any film featuring a blonde heroine. Okay, way above The Flash's $55 million. And crushing 1984 Supergirl's entire $14.3 million run. I don't know the bar was any high, but a win is a win. Yeah, that's ridiculous to even bring up, but okay. Even so, clearly it's going to be a far cry from Superman's $125 million last year, as Supes had a 2-day kickoff almost 2 times stronger than Supergirl's. That, I think, matters, man. Although I don't know that anyone expected Supergirl to match her cousin's opening for several obvious reasons. Also, as we always remind folks, this is just the beginning of pre-sales. Yeah, so we don't know for sure. Now, look, that's a lot. And I think, frankly, Luis is trying to spin the data in a pretty rosy direction, okay? So the discussion about this has become one of expectations. And the framing around it from people that want to, I think, be supportive of Gunn and of Warner Brothers and this whole DCU thing has kind of been like, yeah, did we really expect the female version to make as much? Nobody expected the female Superman movie to be as popular. Really? Because I think about a year ago, the conversation was completely different. And in fact, I thought there was a chance, some people thought, that Supergirl could do just as good, if not better, than Superman, because Superman is this Boy Scout, kind of hard to relate to character. Supergirl was supposed to break the mold. She's supposed to be this kind of snarky, broken, relatable woman. And also, too, remember that, Wonder Woman was a phenomenon. And that was the first female-led superhero movie in Zack Snyder's DCEU. And that comparison is there, man. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know who you are. I don't know who these people are that think you can replace Zack, do a whole new thing, and not have these comparisons to the work that he did. I mean, one of the biggest L's to come from Superman, and this is just like, even if you want to be as charitable as possible, you got to admit, this is whack. Even Dan Murrell admitted that this was a problem. If you're replacing something, you want it to do better than the thing that you're replacing. And the basic measurements and everything, because Dan, I thought, did an incredible breakdown of this on his charts show. They basically performed at the same level. Not like one isn't the clear winner. They basically performed at the same level, and you're just looking to do better if you're replacing a thing. Right? So I think that's really the biggest sin of Superman in the DCU so far, is that it's simply not doing as good or obviously better than what Zack was doing. Right? Like, isn't that just like obvious? And so I think it's actually fair to look at a movie that cost $200 million to make. $200 million. It's a huge summer tentpole movie. You got the Game of Thrones gal, you know what I mean? Like, it's a Supergirl. You put Superman into the movie. The clip that came out today is Superman meeting Supergirl. So the whole fucking thing that Zaslav wanted was a big comic book thing that then everything that adds to it is very popular, exciting, and it feels like it's this through line in the shared universe. And I just don't know how you can now turn around and spin when the data's staring you in the face and says, this thing ain't gonna perform the way Superman did, to rewrite history and act like, yeah, we always knew the female version. Really? Why? Why did you always know that? If you always knew that, is it maybe not an unwise use of resources to make that the second movie into the whole fucking thing? right? So I don't know here. And look, here's the other thing. I don't even believe these numbers. Deadline has it at 55 plus. Luis has it at, I think he says here, it will be way above the Flash's 55 million debut. Oh, really? Because Deadline says it might hang pretty close to that 55. If it's 60, if it's in the 70s, that's good. It's still literally half what Superman opened to. And Superman was disappointing box office. So I don't know, man. Like, I'm trying to be as charitable as possible, but I'm getting whiplash a little bit. I'm getting deja vu because this feels very similar to Mando and Grogu. And for like a year, probably 2 years straight, I told you, here's what this movie is. Here's why it's not going to work. And then I had a bunch of people be like, but kids love Grogu. Really? It doesn't seem like they do. The Grogu merch is literally on clearance at Target already within 2 weeks. It's on clearance, 30% off right now. I can show you the photos. So you were wrong about that. You were wrong about that. And I was right about that. And I got to tell you, I think you're wrong about Supergirl. If you think this thing's going to have a crazy walk-up business, people are going to love this thing, it's going to get incredible word of mouth, it's going to be awesome. Guys, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. And there are maybe several factors as to why. One being the fact that theatrical is a terrible business model, and a lot of normal consumers are waking up to that fact and they refuse to participate. Sorry. But also, number two, I don't think people give a fuck about Supergirl, dude. I think people barely gave a fuck about his Superman. I don't think we're doing this the right way. I don't think this is how you do it. So anyways, with that said, that's my take. I think the box office is going to be pretty fucking bad, but we do sort of have, I guess, the first official reporting on it. So people are speculating about what it means. What do you think, chat? Am I going a little bit too hard on it? Oh, yeah, and I guess I should do a short. Iron Man made way more money than Cap and Thor. Yeah, so why? So you said that probably for a reason. What are you trying to imply? Why don't you just say it? It's going to make like 300 to 400 million? Yeah, probably. And I would say probably close to 3. I think it's going to make pretty close to 3. I don't think it makes close to 4. Right? I wish I could see their face when it flops with record numbers. Do a short. I will do a short. The dude Lou. I see 300. Yeah, I kind of see 300 too. Which, like, 300 is what Clayface wants to make. You know what I mean? They had to add Lobo because they knew she wasn't going to be enough. They're using a bunch of Superman promo and even a Superman villain to sell that shit. Yeah, and it does seem... I mean, look, to me it seems a little desperate. I think the reality of this is it's the same story we've been talking about for years. The audience is incredibly discerning. How did the Joker 2... Like, this is what... Hollywood just needs to think about this one specific question. How did you go from Joker 1, which makes $1 billion fucking dollars and costs like 30 million, to Joker 2, which costs 150 to 200 million and is one of the biggest bombs in the history of Hollywood? Like, literally ask yourself this. How could the audience have possibly evaporated? You guys control the media insofar as through the trades. It's obvious that that's not enough to control the narrative. The narrative with Joker 2 was from like 6 months out. People on Reddit, 4chan, Twitter, fucking wherever. Yeah, this thing's a big pile of dog shit, and they're actually kind of spitting in the face of the fans. And then it's like, think about it. How does that narrative, they're spitting in the face of the fans, become so prevalent that you go from $1 billion movie to one of the biggest bombs in the history of Hollywood? The musical thing could be a part of it for sure. But I'm just telling you, like, they've lost control. And, like, I think Mando Grogu's an example of that. They tried everything. They did a Super Bowl spot and the Clydesdale thing. I think it's the stupidest thing ever. You know? And they're trying to, like, get you to think Grogu's all cute and whatever, and people are into it, and it's literally consumers saw all of those things that they always see. And they looked right past it. They didn't spend as much money. far fewer than used to even showed up to the theaters, to the degree that it's actually kind of crazy. And you just got to ask yourself, how is that possible? The only way it's possible is if the driving force of narrative creation is completely out of their control. It's completely out of their control. So yeah, anyway, any other thoughts? Has anyone watched Legend of Aang that was leaked online? No, I haven't watched that. The economy is shit. That's also a big factor. The economy is absolutely shit. And I do think that's a factor. I do. But, you know, and this is going to sound a little conflicting, like I'm kind of going back on a thing here, but they did just have $1 billion month last month. I think a lot of that's due to inflation, actually, but still, that money came through. So people were at the theaters about 70% of what they used to be, but they certainly weren't spending a lot of money on Star Wars. Right. So I don't know, man. I just the economy is certainly a factor, but like if the Odyssey makes $1 billion, if Spider-Man makes $1 billion, and then if Doomsday makes $1 billion, then you'd have to say like, oh, well, maybe the economy, although a factor, is obviously not the actual bottleneck to billion-dollar movies, right? And look, you're talking to a guy that doesn't even like theatrical. Like, I'm not even feeling that shit, but I would admit that certain movies I will go to the theaters to watch. Other movies, and it's like a lot of other movies, I'm not going to do that. And, you know, Mando and Grogu is a really interesting example. I think some of you guys were shocked that I didn't see it. And you're like, what do you mean? Like, you cover Star Wars, you got to do this, that, second, and third. No, I don't. No, I don't. And then when it comes to Supergirl, I'm not going to the theaters to watch Supergirl. Are you high? I am not going to the theaters to watch Supergirl, dude. I will check it out on streaming. Yeah, I know. But $1 billion movie today isn't the same as $1 billion movie 20 years ago. Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. It'd be more like, well, it depends on the inflation, but yeah, I mean, I actually think that movies are a little bit like comic books in America, where like there's this really big decline happening that's been hidden by gimmicks. The gamification and the gimmicks ramped up in such a way to mask the decline of readership with comics. And I think that's the same thing with movies. I think they're using gimmicks to hide how bad the decline actually is. CS Swerve with a 5 spot says, was Captain America Thor a failure because they didn't make the money Iron Man 1 made? Like, why not be fair, but of holding on to your James Gunn beef? I mean, I kind of understand what you're saying, but you're talking about literally 15, like 2008 was what, 20 or 18 years ago? You're talking about 2 decades ago, brother. You know? So like I don't understand what you're saying. Like you're making the argument that because Marvel had a couple of movies in their first phase that didn't make as much as the one almost 20 years ago, that James Gunn's second movie into the DCU should be excused of flopping if it flops, right? Yeah, it's just like that's not a cogent argument. Like you're just mad and you're grasping for like analogies in comparison that have like some semblance of reflection of what I'm talking about, but not in the sense to build a cogent argument, you know? But it's okay. Appreciate the 5. Jacob says they got to turn their brains on over there at the DCU. Also got my Odyssey 70mm IMAX tickets. Did you pay retail or did you have to scalp? Did you get a scalped ticket for it or what? the Odyssey is at least making what Oppenheimer made. I think the Odyssey is going to do very well. I think people are very excited about it. I'm not that excited about it, but I acknowledge that a lot of people are. Reaper says, I can 100% enjoy a movie at home with the right tech around me, providing almost a better quality experience than any theater could. I feel the exact same way. But other people don't, and that's all good. But yeah, no, I think this like allegiance to Hollywood and this allegiance to the theatrical is like, it's just programming in my opinion, you know? But look, maybe I'm programmed on stuff that I like Warhammer. Have you guys heard of Warhammer? Zach, thank you for the gifted membership, brother. Nuck says, as a rock musician, not professional by any means, I feel the movie industry is very similar to what happened to the music industry, especially hard rock metal. Fuck Spotify, by the way. Yeah, I think there's a lot of truth in that, man. The commoditization of this product in a lot of ways has, I think, modeled a rent-seeking model. And I think it's terrible. And I think it's eroded a lot of value and a lot of consumer trust in a lot of different industries. All right, let's try the short. Ready? Let's try the short. Okay, TLDR Supergirl box office tracking. We have official box office tracking as the movie is just 3 weeks away. But we also have some conflicting reports. So initially, Deadline reported that they saw this movie opening at $55+ million domestically, which would be well below half of what Superman opened to domestically just last year. Now, other industry experts are putting at 57 all the way up into like the 70s, which is still about half of what Superman made, but ahead of a lot of other movies. Right now, the big comparisons are Thunderbolts, some of these other big movies. They want this thing to be more successful than maybe Black Widow was, because Black Widow's technically the record holder for the biggest opening of a female-led superhero movie in the post-COVID era. So, as you can tell, a lot of asterisks, a lot of speculation when it comes to this tracking. I think either way you slice it, for me, though, this box office tracking has got to be disappointing for Warner Brothers and probably disappointing for Paramount as they're kind of watching what's happening with the DCU and James Gunn. There's really no way around it. You can't really sugarcoat it. This movie cost hundreds of millions of dollars to create, probably $100 million or more to market, and they might have even dipped even more into marketing to try to overcome the weaker numbers and this weaker tracking, right? So I think for me, either way you slice it, the Supergirl movie, it just looks like it's a misfire. Maybe the DCU can survive a misfire. Lord knows Marvel had a lot of misfires, especially after Endgame. But I also think as you are starting a cinematic universe, the second movie in underperforming and being widely rejected by a lot of the audiences you would have hoped to grab up attention from, not a good look. So I think either way we slice it, we're looking at a pretty disappointing outcome for Supergirl. Wonder what you think about it. Am I crazy? Am I just a hater? Or is the DCU absolutely fucking cooked? Let me know in the comment section below. Oh, how was that? Hey, how was that? How was that? Decent? I tried to pull back the snarkiness and just shitting on it and calling James Gunn. Yeah. Half and half. Okay. Warhammer 40K is what Star Wars Expanded Universe was before Disney bought it and erased it, says the Lore Horse 2. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's true. All right, let me have a couple of sips of coffee, and then I want to talk about Doomsday. Less goofy? What does that even mean, Trev? Are you telling me to be less goofy, just in general? Or were you saying that it was less goofy? You gotta be clear. MTG Marvel set coming up in a couple of weeks. Yeah, I was just talking to my buddy about that yesterday. Maybe we're gonna do a pre-release for it. I'm kind of excited for it. Comparing Man of Steel to Superman, been a decade to movie industry has changed. Yeah, Swerve, I understand, buddy, but you're not getting it. If you watch Dan Murrell's charts comparison, he takes into account every possible factor to adjust the performance of Man of Steel against the performance of Superman, and that is just a comparison that was always going to be made, and you have to watch his breakdown because it would be unfair to make just a blanket straight comparison. That is not what I am talking about. That's not what Dan did. But yeah, no, if you want to get butthurt about a couple other things, though, throw a couple 5 spots on the pile, I wouldn't mind. But you also you're just not getting it, and you're certainly not at a level of like authority in the argument, in my opinion. Way behind in the stream. I just heard Zach's comment about stream lagging every 10 seconds. Same for me for like 2 weeks. What? Okay, well, I'll definitely have to look into that. I don't know what that is, but I like the farting noises in the other shot. I like the goofiness. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Farting noises? I'm so angry right now about to drop 500. Drop it. Drop it like it's hot, baby. This happens to me all the time with the 10 seconds. Ain't no way, really? Are you watching on a browser? Are you watching on your phone? I need more info. Are you watching on an app? Are you watching on a potato? Are you on a lawn chair? Are you on a boat? Little does Josh know I'm about to see Supergirl 100 times opening day. The box office success coming from good old Melvin Dew. Well, this is not financial advice, but you would be so much happier if you spent even half of that money on Warhammer, brother. I'm just telling you. You're talking about the censoring sounds in your videos? Oh, okay, yeah. Well, in that case, yes. Yes, fart noises all day. Oh, okay. Interesting. So the 10-second thing, I'll look into that. I'm watching through my Warhammer phone. Nice. I'll buy a mini if you go see Supergirl. Pfft. No. Nah. I'm good on that shit, bro. I'm good on that shit, bro. Love the short you just made. Okay, nice. How much space does Warhammer merch take in your house, say, compared to comic books? Right now, comics and shit is way more. But Warhammer's getting there. As you know, we're slowly getting there. The trouble with Warhammer is it's so damn expensive to just have the minis that it's also hard to accumulate, you know, outside merch and, you know, paintings and this, that, second, and the third. But I'm actually glad you asked this, Trev, because I bought yesterday a bust of the Lionel Johnson, and it comes with some other cool Dark Angel stuff, like a little painting and stuff. But I'm gonna put it's like a gold bust or brass, probably. I'm gonna put it in the background. So don't you worry, Trev. Don't you worry. The lion is on the way. Missed your member chat? Okay, let me see. What? Miss your member chat? Chris? I don't see it, buddy. Chris, where is it? Okay, here we go. Solid 68 months in the tower. Happy to support my favorite part-time streamer. What? Part-time? Did I mention I'm taking Monday off? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Appreciate you too, brother. Thank you so much. All right, let's talk about some shit. Let's talk about Doomsday. All right, listen up. Listen up, chat. I want to talk to you about the Doomsday reshoots. And I want to talk to you about Doomsday and Secret Wars and all this stuff and the Russo brothers. And then, so shut your mouth when you're talking to me. Sit down. Because you're going to want to hear this, okay? Now, first, let's talk about the reshoots. So right now, the reshoots are happening for Doomsday. But I don't know if you've been paying attention to this. Maybe you're just not as plugged in, or maybe you don't even give a fuck. But the reshoots have been way different than what they were first described to be to me. And they're way different than your typical Marvel reshoots. Okay? Number one, they're later than I thought they'd be. They're going on longer than I thought they would. And they also seem to be somewhat rolling. And what I mean by that is we keep hearing reports of different actors that are going to the set to do reshoots. David Harbour was just there. Robert Downey Jr. just went back. Maybe even some others here and there. I can't remember exactly everybody, but I've found it so weird how people are like on this sort of rolling rotation to go film some stuff, okay? Now, a couple of different things that are probably going on. Number one, it's probably like, so Harbour's character in particular, I think Red Guardian is going to have some pretty emotional and important scenes. Maybe even sacrifice himself or something. But like, you know, this relationship that's built up with Yelena is very interesting. And then if some of the rumors of what I've heard about maybe Natasha as well are involved, yeah, Red Guardian's probably important to that. And so maybe these are just scenes where they're sort of punching up emotional moments, close-ups, you know, Harbour right then and there. By the way, too, this is kind of random, but I've never said this before, but it's actually something pretty awesome that I heard. Do you guys remember last December when we went over all of those leaked production and makeup photos? One of the things, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but a lot of people did, is a lot of them are bald. So Channing Tatum had his head shaved. Downey had his head shaved when he was playing Doom. A lot of them had their heads shaved. The reason why is because they are all doing wigs. So there's this really famous scene in Infinity War where Spider-Man's hair changes, Tom Holland's hair changes in the middle of a scene. It's right when Tony is knighting him, actually, or right before he knights him. And it's pretty noticeable. Didn't really notice it at the time, but like now when you go back and rewatch that movie, you're like, holy shit, that is crazy. His hair changes in the middle of the scene, and it's because of the reshoots. So in order to combat that, this time in principal photography and for the reshoots, they all wore wigs. So that's why Chan had the shaved head. That's why a lot of them had the shaved head, okay? Now, so thinking about that, thinking about the sort of care that's being given here, there have been these other reports coming out recently about how most of this is shot on sound stages, and a lot of the stuff is to prevent leaks and spoilers. Okay, so we know from Charles Murphy's reporting that even during Principal, or maybe in the end of Principal going into the reshoots, Benedict Cumberbatch shot some scenes with the skeleton crew, CGI, very secretive stuff. Okay, that's pretty interesting. We also know that they've done things like the golden masked body doubles on set that eventually are people that come to the set, like Elizabeth Olsen, have it revealed that it's her. Oh my God, she was there the whole time. That's one way that they're hiding leaks. Another one is through the flashbacks of the X-Men killing all these universes. That's where you get your Toby and your Hugh, and potentially other things as well. So the Russos have gone through all this incredible trouble and design to hide leaks and rumors. And I think what they're currently doing with the reshoots is like on another level of that. Because I believe not only do they have this plan, not only are they trying all these different things, but I think they've also been watching how all of this goes. I think they've been watching The Den of Nerds. Probably not regularly, but maybe here and there, or maybe they have somebody watching it. What I'm actually dead ass. They're watching how these leaks are being disseminated, how the fake leaks that they put out are being disseminated, how the changes of names for like a Luke Cage being Captain America, X-23 being Wolverine, Venom being Toby, Spider-Man. They're watching how all of this is being disseminated, spread. Where are the leaks? Where are the pain points? How is this going? I think that's why they changed how they were doing the reshoots. I think they tightened up the reshoots even more, and I think part of it is to hide these secrets. Okay? So that's one thing, and I think it's cool. I've talked about it a little bit already. But here's the other thing that I think it makes this even cooler. And I'm a little bit, this is projection. I'm actually like hoping this is real. So don't get mad if like I say this and then it ends up not being true or whatever. But I would imagine that the stuff they're learning and the stuff they've already learned this year about how to protect the leaks will make it so when they make Secret Wars, even more will be hidden. I believe that although we know a lot about Doomsday, and I mean we know a lot about Doomsday, I think there's a lot that's going to change. I think there's a lot of stuff that will be added that will never be officially confirmed, like maybe Tony Stark's actually in it. Maybe Tom Holland Spider-Man in a future Foundation suit is actually in it. But we'll never, like, get that officially confirmed because it's going to be, like, so well hidden. And there's, like, fake this, fake that, like a lot of fake leaks. But when it comes to Secret Wars, man, I'm starting to think that the year leading into Secret Wars might be a year where we get the fewest leaks, the fewest concrete rumors, and we will have the most mystery that we have had for a Marvel movie in 5 or 6 years. Like, I really believe that. I think that this is something they are working on. I think it's something Kevin has wanted for a long time. And I think they're watching how this has been going down. And I think when it gets to Secret Wars, there's going to be an amazing amount of stuff that we do not know. And what that means is we will have so much room for speculation. And you know, sometimes people hear me talk like this and they're like, but won't that like destroy your channels? Like all you talk about is leaks and all that. I'm like, no, dude, I was doing great on YouTube before leak culture was even a thing. Okay? The lead up to Endgame, like, yeah, there were leaks and stuff, but it wasn't like what it is now. So the theories, the speculation, you know, one little rumor extrapolating out, that used to be the special sauce of the Den of Nerds. That used to be what we were all about. And yeah, we would get pretty close because we like, you know, comic book sweaties, et cetera, et cetera. But like, dude, I actually hope, I really hope, and I'm starting to believe that this is a thing and that it's going to preserve some secrets for Doomsday, which is going to create a really cool experience for people. And then it'll be doubled down on for Secret Wars. And that's so important because Secret Wars needs to be generational. And I think it probably will be either way. But for it to be generational and for them to maybe get back to preserving some of those secrets, hiding stuff from internet detectives like me, I think that would be great. So I just wanted to speak to that a little bit. I wonder if you guys have any questions, comments, remarks about that. Do you see why I believe this? Because I definitely have just seen myself a little pattern of like the Russos kind of tightening it up and tightening it up and tightening it up. And man, I really think they could have actually cracked the code and figured out how to hide all this shit for Secret Wars. Wouldn't that be cool? iFlow with another $20 holler. That's very generous, man. Thank you so much. Says, I told you last year that these guys are watching these nerd channels and moving accordingly. I didn't think you believed me. It's probably not that I didn't believe you. I probably downplayed it just because I always try to downplay that a little bit. But yeah, for sure. I mean, I know they pay attention to the spaces, man. And I think particularly the Russos are pretty good about like understanding YouTube culture, Twitter culture, influencers, etc. And yeah, that is also a thing with the leaks and rumors and whatnot. So appreciate the 20 though, man. There's a roach on the seat behind you. Ah! I'm a believer too. Yeah. And wouldn't it be good though? Like, wouldn't it be fun if we never got a clear idea of like, is Andrew Garfield actually in Secret Wars as a Duke or a Baron? And you know, I just think it would be great if there was a lot we did not know about Secret Wars. But I guess we'll see. I think it's obvious that Marvel, DC, Lucasfilm have people who watch you, new Rockstars campaign, etc. Yes, I think so too. What kind of a roach? Oh! I mean, if Tom was for ideas, I'm sure they have people to do that as well. Yeah, and that's another interesting factor is Tom literally talked about like being on Reddit, being in YouTube comment sections, being on Twitter. He was scouring the internet to try to figure out what Spider-Man fans actually wanted. Right? So they're plugged in, you know, they're plugged in. My name is Doom. So, Josh, you think they're warping and changing the narrative according to crowd favor on plots? Oh, no, not at all. I think they had plans. I think they shot the movie in a way that some of the most important twists and secrets were known by very few, were not in the scripts, were not shot during principal, and instead will be added very last minute with a very skeleton crew. No, I don't think they're looking at what the crowd wants. I mean, maybe to a degree they're looking at what people would be excited about, but that's just like being like a fan, right? Holland kind of did that though. Holland did kind of do that where he was like looking at like what the fans want and trying to understand through that way. I don't really. There's no official updates out there about Beyond the Spider-Verse, but yeah, I think it'll come out probably 2027. That's my guess. When do you think they start test screening Doomsday? Well, there's a cut of Doomsday that people inside Disney have seen. There is a cut that people have seen, and it blew people away. But again, it is not the final movie. So I think they're hiding some stuff. What a fan wants, what a fan needs, what makes you happy sets me free. Yeah, man. Hell yeah. Good throwback. All right, should we do a short here? Should we do a little short here? All right, let's try this again. Okay, TLDR on the Doomsday reshoots. Oh no, Doomsday has reshoots? Yes, dude. Every Marvel movie has reshoots. You idiot. All right, maybe you're not an idiot, but yeah, every Marvel movie has reshoots. Okay, so right now, Doomsday's going through reshoots, but there is something that makes these reshoots extra interesting. Number one, they seem to be happening differently than they were first explained. Like, really reliable people like Daniel Richtman and some others in the space had a timetable for the reshoots, which these reshoots do not seem to be following. This is happening a little bit later than we expected. It also seems to be a little bit more rolling. Certain actors are showing up, and then another actor shows up, and it just seems like a lot of this is being done with the utmost secrecy. And what I believe is going on here is they did actually start filming the reshoots in the original scheduled reshooting window, but they just went extra slow, skeleton crews, keeping everything hush, 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 and that's why everything is rolling out the way that it is. And in fact, the craziest part of this is I think the Russos have kind of figured out a way to hide some leaks, hide some rumors for Doomsday, some things that will never be confirmed that might genuinely surprise audiences, even people like me and you who watch all the leaks and read all the Daniel RPK stuff, even though we think he's so dumb. We're still reading all his scoops and stuff. So even people like you and I might get surprised by what's in the movie. But where it gets really juicy is with Secret Wars, because I think the Russos have been learning, even if they've been making Doomsday, and I think they'll get even more surprises for Secret Wars. Secret Wars, the secret is in the name, and it might actually have the most secrets of any Marvel movie that we've seen since Endgame. What do you think of that? Pretty good? Did anybody time me? What was the time? Did anybody time me? Will Doomsday be a $1 billion film? I think so. Yeah. That was good. You definitely have a short game. Wait, what? P.S. Love the hand gestures. What do you mean by the hand gestures? What are you talking about? That's crazy. James Aw says, 56 months. Did you see Rob P saying he did work out for the Batman? Supergirl going to be heavily influenced by early reviews. British nerd vengeance for life. British? Oh, it's cool. It's cool. It's fine. He did work out for the Batman, huh? Well, I mean, I don't know. Get a different trainer. You know, I didn't really see it. I meant every word. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't really see it, but you know, it's fine. Maybe he's just doing a little bit of softening the blow on social media or something. I don't know. But you know what? He's got another movie coming out, Batman Part 2. He could be more jacked for that one. I mean, wouldn't it be great if, like, you saw that? If he didn't have to say it and we were like, oh, damn, like, this dude worked out for this one. Why are you lying on the short like RPK is reliable? Look, RPK is an insufferable, total douchebag, smug as fuck, like so left-leaning that his brain's coming out the left side of his ear. And I mean that in a very bad, negative way. He's absolutely terrible. If he didn't have solid information, nobody would suffer this fool. Okay? So I need you to understand that literally everybody on social media would love nothing more than to put Daniel RPK in the rearview mirror and never mention him again. Terrible. But we can't, because he actually does have the information. So the thing what you're saying is just wrong. Trust me, I would love nothing more than for it to be the case that RPK was unreliable. If he was unreliable, I'd never talk about him again. And it would be like, Amazing Grace. But no! Not Amazing Grace. Amazing that this annoying motherfucker actually has information. That's what's amazing. Screen Crush still out here making videos considering Sadie's character in Brand New Day. Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, they're free to make the content they want to make. I mean, I think Ryan makes good content. It's not really for me a lot of the time, but yeah. Then why the Doomsday trailer release date change every 3 damn weeks? You think Daniel's doing that? I don't think so. I think a lot of people in the space were speculating, and there were different time windows that seemed more reasonable than others. Trust me, I'll call Daniel RPK out all day, every day on all the bullshit that he does. But that particular thing, I don't think you can actually lay it at Daniel's feet. Corny COB with a 10 spot says, I did buy a box set of Emperor's Children minis in paint. Let's go! Coincidentally, when I got back home, I have a friend that's a manager at the corporate store, very excited to get more into Warhammer. Oh, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, so we're going to be doing Warhammer Wednesday streams. We'll do another one next Wednesday night. And we're real close to 11th edition. So maybe we'll even do some painting, or we'll talk about more of the game. But the Emperor's Children are cool, man. They got those noise marines. They got some really fun characters. They've got cool lore. I like the Emperor's Children. I also mentioned that New Rockstars is biting your style. Yeah, look, that's fine. Guys, it's fine. It's flattering. Look, a lot of these guys, they look at Josh and they say, well, like, dude, good thing this dude's, like, not actually good at production, and good thing he flies off the handle and he's kind of fucking rude, because otherwise, like, he'd be real competition for us, because his ideas are incredible. So we're just going to take his ideas and put it into our 4-quadrant, mass appeal, very accessible formats that we've created. And to be honest with you, I have no problem with that. You know what I mean? Because you know who Daddy really is. If you know, you know. And that's all I need. Better get your money back for that smart water. Got him. Wait, what? What? I must have missed something. Fire. I was talked out of getting a codex. Yes, that's. I would say wait. Yeah. I would say wait. But it's a tough one, man, because I don't know what the rollout for the codexes is going to be. But you should be able to play without a codex for a while. When do you think Doomsday marketing ramps up? Early fall? Oh no, it's the summer, brother. It's all gonna happen as Spider-Man's popping. It's San Diego Comic-Con. I mean, dude, like, we're in a kind of slow period right now, but like, I'm not sweating it. When we get close to San Diego Comic-Con, the shit is going to be ridiculous. So a lot of the work I'm doing right now, like, I've sort of taken the foot off the gas of the actual content. Got to get more stuff rolling on the main channel. Got to get, we got to get rolling. But at the same time, now's the time we're gonna build this setup. We're kind of working the muscles on the short form content. We're getting new editors into the workflow. This is a time to build up so that once the summer hits, we're firing on all cylinders, because that's going to be a crazy stretch from summer to Doomsday. Is going to be wild. Is your comic cock stream the biggest of all time? I mean, it's pretty big. I don't know if it's the biggest of all time. It's pretty big. But no, in all seriousness, yeah, they're usually the biggest stream we do every year. I would imagine this one's going to be pretty big, yeah. This summer's going to be nuts. Yeah, I agree. I think this summer's going to be nuts. Okay, let's stop that one because, dude, I got another video for you. I got even more to show you today. Okay. All right already. Okay, all right already. Y'all want to talk about Spider-Man's, dude? Because, like, I'm kind of hyped up for this this new Spider-Man movie, dude. I think Tommy Holland be cooking. I think Tommy Holland here might be cooking here, eh? Certainly not cooking on non-alcoholic beer. What is wrong with your generation, guys? Okay, I just saw something. I don't know if this is real. I saw this like pop up on Twitter. So I'm like that boomer that's like, I saw it on Facebook. But apparently, like the youngest generation right now is having the least amount of sex out of like any generation that we've ever had. Okay, so like you guys aren't having sex. You're not drinking. What has happened to you? What is going on? How can I help? Okay? How can I help? This is why you're all so miserable. This is why you're all so fucking grumpy all the time. You know, you want to fight about this social issue or that social issue. How can I help you? Okay, anyway. Let's get into some Spider-Man. I'm just saying, like it's not a great stat to have, you know? Yeah, okay, all right. All the world is mad. There's no course correction. No course correction yet. All right, let's talk about Spider-Man because there have been a lot of reveals, leaks, rumors, things with regards to Spider-Man Brand New Day, but we just got a couple really juicy ones that are flying under the radar. So the first thing is, it appears June 17th, according to Daniel Richtman, one of the best scoopers in the game that we definitely all really appreciate and like that he has accurate information. He's suggesting that the trailer will come out on June 17th. Now, the reason I believe him is because I saw Cryptic HD talking about it and trying to give props to Daniel, and then fucking Paul from Heavy Spoilers chimes in and he's like, yeah, you know, the amount of shit Daniel knows that people don't know that he knows is so crazy, and these guys are like sucking off Daniel RPK, fluffing him up real good, so I had to come in there on the Twitter and be like, yeah, too bad he's so stupid and dumb, though. I don't know that we needed to go into that story, but it's already been done. The point is, Daniel RPK has information. He's so dumb. Such a whack, stupid dummy. But he has accurate information. So that's the first thing to start with, is I do think the Spider-Man trailer probably going to come out on June 17th. Would love to know your thoughts about that. Now, a couple of other things that are being revealed about the movie. Let's start with this one. So Cryptic HD was doing a little Q's and A's, trying to talk about some stuff on the interwebs, and I found this one to be particularly interesting. He's asked if the Hulk is the main villain of Spider-Man Brand New Day, to which he says, no, he isn't, and yes, we will get Gray Hulk. Now that's, to me, that's pretty crazy, okay? Number one, kind of confirmation, I guess, depending on how you look at it, confirmation that Hulk is not the main villain of the movie. I think we probably knew that. I didn't really expect him to be, although there was a time where maybe I thought it would be a version of Hulk that was actually the main villain, like a Maestro or something like that, but no. And then we do get Gray Hulk. So, what the fuck? There is Gray Hulk? Well, that's super weird because we've seen all these images and posters and even the toys now that seem to have Hulk being green. So I guess let's just stop there for a second. I would love to know, chat, what do you think of that? Gray Hulk? Green Hulk? A Green Hulk that turns gray? A Gray Hulk that turns green? What is happening? Like, what do you guys think is going on? The only thing I can think of is, again, it goes back to like Joe Fix-It. There's all kinds of different versions of Hulk, and, it's comics, so they try all sorts of fun things. But in one of the versions, he is gray, and yet he's intelligent, but he's Hulk. He's not Banner, at least as far as I understand it. And he becomes this guy, Joe Fix-It. He's like sort of works for the mob on the West Coast. It's really weird, dude. It's like really weird. Where's a fedora? Where's a suit detective thing? It's really weird. But there's also like other callbacks to Hulk. So like originally Hulk was supposed to be gray, and there was a mistake at the printers and they made him green. And then people just liked Green Hulk, so they kind of stayed with that. They would eventually do some stories that did have an origin for Hulk where he was gray. I think it was one by Jeff Loeb, unless I'm mistaken. So yeah, there's different Gray Hulk versions. Because we know Hulk is going to go savage in the film, and all the Savage Hulk stuff we've seen, which really just amounts to like the toys and some posters at this point, they all seem to tease green. So I think Hulk will initially freak out and be savage and be green. But then we're going to get to a Gray Hulk. Now, what does that look like? Is that Hulk integrating with Banner a little bit more? Is it Hulk being intelligent? Like we had Smart Hulk, right? Professor Hulk, which was basically merging of Hulk and Banner together, but Banner's in control, right? Is this the opposite, where it's a merging of Banner and Hulk, but Hulk's in control? So it's a Smart Hulk that's gray. That could absolutely be what it is. And I think these answers are kind of connected here. He's not the main villain, but we're going to get Gray Hulk. So that's cool. That's intriguing. A little bit more info on that with regards to Hulk. But this is pretty juicy here, okay? So somebody asked Cryptic what was going on with this scene. And this is a scene in the trailer where Peter is swinging, but he's like flying around. There's even like some birds getting caught in his thing. And what Cryptic says here is really interesting. He says, seems like he's trying to adjust to his new organic webs. Maybe they're probably stronger than his man-made ones, so he can't control his swings yet. Now, that's actually something that he said a while ago, okay? This next one here, hopefully it just go. Okay, yeah. So, and I don't know why, like, sometimes I click through and it's this cancel X, like people just fucking hate Elon or whatever on Reddit, and they want to do this weirdo thing. Whatever. I don't think about it too much. I just click on the links. Okay? But, check this out. It says here, yeah, he can't control that shit. And this is him quote tweeting himself yesterday. And again, this was from April, all the way back in April when he first did it. Yeah, he can't control that shit. It's too strong. His other self takes over in the prison scene when he gets backed into a corner. He's using the organic webs here to break the sword. Now, hold up. Wait a minute. That is pretty crazy. So there's a couple of different things going on here. Number one, organic web so strong that it can snap a fucking ninja katana into multiple pieces. It's so strong that as he's web swinging, he cannot account for, I guess, the tension, the strength of the tension of it, and he can't even web swing with it. Okay? So that's one thing. But this part's really interesting. He says his other self takes over in the prison scene when he gets back to a corner. Now, we've seen the eyes go black, right? In Peter in the trailer. And there's a lot of like what is that exactly? Alex Perez says they're not going to go full man Spider here, but there's definitely some like transformation happening. A lot of us, including Rob, I think Rob was on stream when we talked about this. It seems like it's the Other. Now, the Other is a really cool thing. It's essentially this time period in comics where Peter was dying. His spider sense was going crazy. It was like overactivating, and he was dying. And he asked everybody in the Marvel Universe, like he went to Doctor Strange, he went to Reed Richards, nobody could help him, and he ends up dying. But then he ends up coming back to life. So he dies, but then he comes back to life, and he comes back to life with the powers of the Other. It was really weird. He had like really long hair. His spider sense was crazy. He had these spikes that were coming out at one point. His spider senses were just dialed up to 11, and he was really, really powerful, more powerful and strong than he was before. Now, the Other kind of like goes away from Peter and ends up finding Kane Parker, the Scarlet Spider, as its host. And Kane becomes the Other, and there's a couple of interesting things that happen. Number one, he kills the Spider Queen. Instead of Peter, he kills the Spider Queen in the Spider Island event. Okay? But then, in the very first Spider-Verse, it is Kane using the power of the Other that destroys Morlun, who's one of the inheritors. They're like these cosmic vampire folks. Way too sweaty and nerdy. All you need to know is that the Other has been important to Peter Parker and also Kane Parker in some really big spider stories, including one that was a Spider-Verse story. So, with all of that being said, I think it's incredibly interesting that they might be doing the Other with Peter. And I can't help but think that this might have something to do with the spell. Because remember, everybody forgets who Peter Parker is, and it seems like Peter's going to be forgetting who he is as well. And so this concept of the Other could also apply to Peter, as he is losing the humanity and the spider side of him is somewhat taking over, and so he's out of balance. The Other in this movie may well not be what it was in the comics, and instead might be some kind of a manifestation of what all spider people merge with, and it might be an example of what happens when that merging is out of balance. Okay, so that's kind of interesting, right? And I like how this parallels to the Hulk stuff. So that's something that I think is actually pretty cool and pretty revealing about it. And you'd have to ask yourself then, okay, because this is where this gets really fun. Okay, so does that mean then that Tobey's webs, being organic, were always stronger than Andrew's and Tom Holland's original webs? Is this a power-up to put Tom on the level of Tobey's Spider-Man? Right? That's kind of an interesting question. What does this mean then for Andrew? What does this mean about the Other itself? Was the Other also looking to possess Tobey? Was Tobey able to handle it a little bit better because he had the memories of being himself? And remember, too, that Venom, the symbiote, is involved in Tobey's story in a big, big way, and does pull him into that more darker, almost Other-esque kind of being, an identity. So you're seeing a lot of parallels to what happened to Tobey. What I'm hoping for is that this is building up on the lore of Spider-Man in general, right? Now, I've given a little bit of lip service to this. I put it in certain videos, but it's a concept I'm going to kind of continue to talk about. I think the Doomsday movie in particular has this incredible opportunity to do a lot of heavy lifting of retcons and explanations for things we've witnessed as Marvel fans for the past 50 years. So, like, for instance, Magneto, Ian McKellen's Magneto, is great, but also a little bit more twisted and dark than the Magneto from comics. This Magneto is willing to sacrifice mutants. This Magneto is willing to turn humans into mutants. This Magneto is weird compared to comic book Magneto. And I think it would be great if, like, Doom or the TVA or some structure of Doomsday was to acknowledge that and explain it. You know, give us a reason as to why that Magneto's darker. Explain how he's different than most normal Magnetos, right? I think this is a way to explain things like Sam Wilson, Captain America, Steve giving the shield to him, how that doesn't happen in a lot of other universes, and why it happened in this one, something like that. And with regards to Andrew and Toby and Tom, I'm hoping we get something similar, where there's, in addition to the canon, a better understanding, building off of what came before. Don't just make it a thing and then let the fans figure it out. Give us a reason as to why Toby had organic webbing and now Tom is getting organic webbing. Give us a reason as to why Toby was a certain kind of Spider-Man and why Tom Holland is a certain kind of Spider-Man. Why is it different? Why is there no Uncle Ben? Like, what is going on here? How do we make sense of the changes to 616? Why is it so different than what we'd expect from comics in a lot of different ways? And the movie has an opportunity to, like, actually give us an explanation. Now, something else that is kind of interesting about this, last thing I'll say, and I want to know what you guys think, but this also makes me think that if you're going to fight a Hulk and you do have the other building or taking over, that's going to be a much closer fight than it would be otherwise. Think about the strength of those webs. He can shatter ninja katanas. That's like the perfect way to fight against Hulk. For Peter specifically, to get the webs to be upgraded in such a way, to get his strength to be upgraded, to get his durability to be upgraded because of the other, and these are all things that happen in the comics, it's a perfect setup to give Peter the power-ups needed to actually face off against Hulk. And that's pretty fucking cool. And, one other little tease that people have been saying is it seems like these webs might be strong enough to bring a whole building down on top of Hulk. And we might see that, where Peter's literally like, and the webs are so strong he could literally bring an entire building down, which would be pretty cool. And also kind of a fun little upgrade to what might happen if the symbiote gets on him and he goes into Secret Wars with organic webbing, the powers of the other, and the Venom symbiote. So, cool little updates, man. Some pretty radical updates there for Spider-Man, bro. What do you guys think? Chat, what do you think? What do you think? Imagine Spidey versus Thanos. Well, we had a little bit of that in Endgame. And a little bit actually in Infinity War and in Endgame. But yeah, getting that power up I think could make that a better fight. Does this sound like a movie you'll watch on your phone, Josh? I would. We need the Amazing Spider-Man 3, either as a last stand Spider-Man or a symbiote Andrew. Yeah, something like that would be cool. Gaia drops him easy. Yeah, she better not, dude. Sounds sick, and it's only part of the movie. Let's go. Yeah, man. Alex just reposted about the trailer. Oh, so he's confirming it'll be on the 17th? Is that what we're saying here? The tensile strength is off the charts. Indeed. Is that from the Santa Claus with Tim Allen? Josh covers movies but hates movies. He really might be the greatest of all time. I don't hate movies. I like movies. There's certain movies I like more than other movies. I think theatrical is a scam. I think movies are great. I can't wait till we get to the point where we're making new, incredible movies every single day because AI allows us to do it. What the fuck is Tombstone doing in this movie? I heard no rumors. Hope it doesn't end up like Red Ghost situation. I think Tombstone is your replacement for Fisk. I think Fisk is either in jail or he's like the pigeon lady from Home Alone now, wandering around New York aimlessly or some shit. I don't know. I didn't watch season 2 of Bored Again. Okay? Because I didn't want to be bored again. So I don't know. But I think that's what they're going to do with Tombstone. That's my understanding. Do you think Jean will be hiding from Peter that she's controlling the Hulk? I don't think she's controlling the Hulk. I think she's the cause of Savage Hulk returning, but I don't think she's controlling Hulk. It's not a Wanda situation. Fisk on a beach? Oh, he's on a beach? Good for him. He's chilling on a beach? Good for him. Would you be mad if they delayed Secret Wars to 2028? No, I don't think they're going to, but no, I wouldn't be mad. Gives me more time to paint Warhammer, you know? Josh, what do you think about the prospects of Ned being Hobgoblin in Secret Wars? If done right, it could be really fun. I don't need it. I'm not necessarily pumped about it, but it could potentially work, I guess. That's the best I could give you on that one. Karen has a whole episode roasting Matt for not killing Fisk. Wish I never saw it. Ah, man, boo. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna watch that shit. Maybe I'll watch the next season. Maybe I'll never watch another episode of Daredevil ever. I don't know. I don't know. Any other thoughts here? The Drinker approves of He-Man? Oh, that's cool. I would watch it if I could stream it right now. Not gonna go out to the theaters for that one. And it's probably still gonna bomb. Netflix run of Daredevil was actually peak. It is peak. The Netflix was really, really good. Life is a beach. I'm just playing in the sand. Life is a beach. And I'm just playing in the sand. All right, I think we could end that segment there. I think you guys are seeing what I'm saying here about the Hulk, about Spider-Man's. Really cool shit, man. I think they're hiding some solid secrets. I think it's gonna be real fun. Life's a beach and then you die. Wait, what? That's a terrible way to look at it. Hey, I'm really hungry. What should I have for lunch? What should I eat for lunch, chat? Some chicken wings? I'm so hungry. I don't even know what to do. Subway? Have they improved their sandwiches? I haven't had Subway in years. Actually, I think I had a Subway once in the last couple of years. What is the next Marvel rewatch? So it's not this weekend because unfortunately I got to do more construction in here and get some stuff set up. But we should be able to get back to it next week, and it'll be Thor. And I'm really excited to do Thor, actually. Tuna Mac, what the hell? Jimmy John's, Jersey Mike's. Yeah, I do a lot of that stuff. Chicken bacon ranch pizza. What? Hell no, man. Get that ranch out of here. Five Guys? Pause. He-Man was Chat GPT masculinity. Absolutely ass. I mean, I don't really have any comments. I haven't seen it. I know the opinions on it are somewhat varied. Kraft dinner mac and cheese and a can of tuna. Yeah, no thanks. Sounds terrible. A cheeseburger? That sounds good. That's a badass Warhammer shirt. What? Fuck. Yeah, dude, totally. What's your favorite sub? At Subway, I like the chicken teriyaki. But I also like a Philly. A Philly cheesesteak is great. Actually, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a Philly cheesesteak. And in fact, I'm ordering it for delivery. I'm going to order that shit right now, bro. Let's go. Cheese. Steak. Hell yeah. The old school triple melt. Hell yes. Louisiana Cajun fries. Absolutely. I guess I should probably get something for the family, huh? Imagine if I didn't. I just ordered myself food. And they were like, what the fuck? All right, let's see here. Oh, that looks good. Yeah, let's do that. Boom, shakalaka. I mean, I should probably get some wings too, you know, just a couple. Just a couple wings. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Ah, yes. Oh, hell yeah. No such thing as a Philly cheesesteak team at Subway. Wait, that's true, actually, yeah. It's odd hearing hilly cheesesteak when you live down the shore. What? A hilly cheesesteak? What the hell is that? Are you watching Summer Games Fest today? Oh, I didn't even know that was going on. Man, you know what I'd like to do is like play some goddamn games. I haven't played video games in a while, man. I've been so busy. You guys don't even understand. You don't even know how busy I am. Does anyone understand how fucking busy I am? Paramount Game Studio has been announced. Whoa, Paramount Game Studio? Okay. Hey, I got a question for you, comic readers. Is there any hype for this Armageddon thing, this Avengers Armageddon thing? Like, is it cool at all, or is it like whatever? Like, is it chill? Or nah? We've been terraforming our backyard. Got blueberry, raspberry, and saskatoon berry bushes out there. That's cool, man. Marvel is a dead fish comic-wise monthly. Damn, really? That's tough, man. Hey, don't say that, Braden. Yeah, go ahead. Get your fucking laughs in while you can. Okay? Supergirl's about to make negative money. So go ahead. Get it out of your system. Oh, how y'all Bitcoin motherfuckers doing, huh? Do you guys know why Bitcoin's crashing? I can tell you why if you're interested. Any of you guys holding Bitcoin out there? Y'all holding Bitcoin? Good for you. Good for you. No money for comics. I'm poor hammer. Yeah, totally understand. Absolute DC is it right now. I know the absolute shit is popping, huh? I should probably just get in on that. All the big firms are hunting everyone's open positions. A little bit, yeah, a little bit. So the thing that happened with Bitcoin is AI is getting like incredibly advanced, and so they asked AI about like the future of Bitcoin, and AI was like, "That is very stupid. That'll never work." So basically, like, everybody's trying to hide that from everybody and pretend like it's chilling while also like exiting slowly, trying to figure it out. So yeah, it's totally boned. That's what happened. How those NFTs? I sold out. I made good money on NFTs, actually. I made some pretty decent money on NFTs, and I think NFTs could have been a great technology, but just like the movie theaters, everybody's wrong except for me. PewDiePie AI is legit and completely takes you off the grid. Yeah, I think that's super impressive. You know, making your own large language models that are not connected to the internet, I think is a great idea. I think that's really cool, actually. DFW said they'll give $1 to $50 million loans to anyone who's about to get liquefied. Yeah, that's a terrible sign. That's a terrible sign, man. Ultimates goes super hard, also vicious. Wait, what? Vicious? What's that? I saw this one guy make a Jarvis for his home AI. I saw that too. I don't think it's real. It is cool looking though, but yeah. I bought my first car with Dogecoin profit on $200 buy-in years ago. Yeah, I got both my dogs from Doge money, but also GameStop. I made some pretty good money off that GameStop thing. Chris says, I'm going to Philly in a couple of weeks. Where's the best place to get a cheesesteak? Oh man, it kind of depends. Everybody, there's like a big debate about it. There's like Geno's, and then I forget the other one. Bob's, maybe? There's like some debate about that, but really there's like, honestly, 5 or 6 really good places that'll all do a pretty good cheesesteak. And then honestly, like, I don't want to say it's hard to find a bad cheesesteak in Philly, but it's probably kind of hard to find a bad cheesesteak in Philly. Oh, it's Pat's. Okay, maybe that's the other one. Yeah. You think the symbiote going on anyone else other than Spider-Man in Secret Wars? That would be cool. I'd like some symbioted heroes. That would be cool. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be fun. What are you doing in Philly, man? I'm trying to plan a trip to Philly soon. I want to go see Adam and play the new Warhammer edition, but I kind of have to wait until the new Warhammer edition is officially out. And then I've got some buddies, but my one buddy like went out of town for a month, and so I'm like, okay, well, I'll wait a little bit or whatever and go over and see the boys. Agent Venom, ooh, that would be cool. Yeah, Agent Venom would be cool. Maybe Venom on like Rogue or something. Not hard to find a bad football team in Philly. Cry, Eagles, cry. Hey, you don't say that. Unless they're playing the Steelers, and then you can say that. Just staying over for a day? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, I like Philly. Been meaning to go back for sure. Can I ban him? No. It's not a good look. Gonna do some history too. Yeah, there's some really cool stuff in the city to see for sure. Unfortunately, downtown usually smells like a bunch of urine. I don't know if there's anything you could do about that, but yeah, there's cool stuff. See the bell, the Rocky statue, you know, where the Declaration of Independence was signed, etc. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. About Baltimore? I wouldn't know. I can't remember the last time I was in Baltimore. 12-day timeout. Oh, shit! All downtown smell like urine. Yeah, it is kind of unfortunate, huh? It is kind of unfortunate. You think they would have, like, invented some kind of substance they could spray that would, like, get rid of the smell or something. Or maybe we could burn incense downtown. I don't know. Who knows? Boston's better? I do like Boston. Boston's a great city. A lot of my favorite cities are on the East Coast, though. Even Chicago, which I guess is the Midwest, but Chicago's a great city. Nashville's very clean. Oh, I bet. Yeah, I bet Nashville's cool. I'm going to be going to Denver, Colorado, Boulder in the next couple of months. I actually talked to Rob a little bit about it because I'd like to hang out with Rob while I'm there. Maybe we'll make some content. Maybe we'll just hang out. But yeah, I'm going to be visiting Denver, Colorado in the next couple of months. Are you streaming for Summer Games Fest? No, not today. Maybe eventually I'll do more streams like that. I'd actually like to do more streams, but I'm in kind of a bind where there's just a lot of other work I'm trying to get started. Eventually I'll just have like Adam taking care of everything and all I got to do is stream, and then I can do a lot more streaming. So it's basically Adam's fault. Every time there's like a fun thing where you're like, oh, it'd be fun if Josh was streaming here. The reason I'm not doing it is Adam. So just so you know. Do you like Wisconsin? We have cheese. Yeah, I've actually been in Wisconsin because I used to live in the Twin Cities. Used to live in Plymouth, right outside of Minneapolis. And St. Paul's cool too. Josh could afford Adam if he stopped importing British wood. Fair. But some lessons are hard to learn. And that, I mean, it does look nice back there, you know? It does look pretty nice. Atlanta is superior. Never been to Atlanta. I've always wanted to go, though. I have some friends that live down there, but never been. It's solid. Oh, okay. Wisconsin's cool usually. Yeah, the Midwest is nice. You know, the people are nice and pretty chill. But Chicago? Yeah, I like Chicago too. All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to get on out of here. Really appreciate you guys. Let's see here. Nuck and Fut says pre-orders for the 11th edition Armageddon box set tomorrow. Are you getting anything for 11th? I am, but I don't think I'm going to get the box set. I want to get the, I want to get the terrain. I want to get the new cards for the primary mission, the new rules book, all that. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be fun. We'll talk more about that next Wednesday for Warhammer Wednesday. Should be good. All right, everybody. Hey, much love, man. Appreciate you guys. No streams over the weekend. We'll be back at it next week. A lot of this stuff, that I'm trying to get figured out. Hopefully, will be figured out soon. We'll get back to our deep dives on the Marvel movies as we get closer to Doomsday. We'll get back at that. A lot of fun stuff coming your way, okay?